Good morning, students. This is my lecture number 4 for chapter number 5, Indigo, that is written by Louis Fisher for class 12th, subject English. And children, this chapter is in your main course book, Flamingo. As you know, I have already delivered 3 lectures of this chapter in which the complete explanation was given with difficult words and their meanings. And today, in this lecture number 4, I will be discussing all the textual questions with you so that you can learn them and then you can copy them in your Fair English registers. Children, your first question begins from page number 47 and I'll be taking the exercise from the very beginning only. So let's begin with the explanation of the question answers. Beta, your question number 1 is strike out what is not true in the following. You have to strike out what is not true in the following. You see, A part is Rajkumar Shukla was a sharecropper, a politician, a delegate, a landlord. So, what is not true is that Rajkumar Shukla was not a politician. So, you have to just take mark on B option or second option. And B part of this question number 1 is Rajkumar Shukla was poor, physically strong or illiterate. So, you know this, Rajkumar Shukla was not physically strong. Though he was poor, he was illiterate. So, these are the two answers of question number 1 which you can mark only in your book. And now we'll proceed further. Your question number 2 is why is Rajkumar Shukla described as being resolute? You know, resolute means firm, determined. So the question is why is Rajkumar Shukla described as being resolute? The answer to this question can be written that Rajkumar Shukla had come from all the way from Champaran to take Gandhiji, and you know Champaran was in the foothills of the towering Himalayas near the kingdom of Nepal. He was a poor peasant and he wanted Gandhiji to visit Champaran, and for that he had to wait for Gandhiji, and he followed Gandhiji in order to fix an appointment with him, and he went to his ashram near Ahmedabad also, and he followed him to his ashram, and then for next few weeks Gandhiji left to another parts of the country, but he was definitely showing his firmness in taking Gandhiji to the village of Champaran in order to solve the trouble of sharecroppers. Therefore, he has been described as being resolute. Your question number 3 is why do you think the servants thought Gandhi to be another peasant? And the answer is given on the same page. If you have read the text in your book, on page number 47 the question is given and just beside it the answer is written. The servants thought Gandhi to be another peasant. Which servant the writer is talking about? The servants at Rajendra Prasad's home. You know, first of all, Rajkumar Shukla took Gandhiji to the lawyer's house, who was Rajendra Prasad, and Rajendra Prasad was out of town. But his servants knew Shukla as a poor yeoman who troubled their master to help the indigo sharecroppers. So, they let him stay on the grounds with his companion Gandhi, whom they took to be another peasant. But Gandhi was not permitted even to draw water from the well, lest some drops from his bucket pollute the entire source. How did they know that he was not an untouchable? Because he accompanied Rajkumar Shukla. Therefore, Gandhiji was also treated as another peasant at Rajendra Prasad's home. Children, this was the questionnaire given on page number 47, and now we will proceed towards page number 49 in your book. And you see there is a box in which two questions are given, and these questions though are marked question 1 and 2, but you will renumber them with question number 4 and 5 because 3 we have already discussed. So question number 4 is, list the places that Gandhi visited between his first meeting with Shukla and his arrival at Champaran. So, children, the answer to this question would be, Gandhi's first meeting with Shukla was at Lucknow, where Gandhiji went to attend his meeting of National Congress Party. Then he went to Kanpur and other parts of India. He returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Later he went to Calcutta, then Patna and then Muzaffarpur before arriving at Champaran. So, this was the complete list of the places that Gandhi visited between his first meeting with Shukla and his arrival at Champaran. And now, let's proceed to the next question. Children, your question number 5, which is numbered as question number 2 in your book, is, what did the peasants pay the British landlords as rent? What did the British now want instead and why? What would be the impact of synthetic indigo on the prices of natural indigo? Children, this question actually has 3 parts. So we'll be answering one by one. First part asks, what did the peasants pay the British landlords as rent? You know, the peasants paid the British landlords indigo as rent because they were forced to grow 15% of the land with indigo only, and the entire amount of indigo crop was to be surrendered to the British landlords as rent by the peasants. And now Germany had developed synthetic indigo. So what did the British now want instead and why? Germany had developed synthetic indigo, so the British landlords wanted money as compensation for being released from the 15% arrangement, right? And what would be the impact of synthetic indigo on the prices of natural indigo? The prices of natural indigo would go down due to the synthetic indigo because it was cheaper in rate and better in quality. So definitely the demand of natural indigo would go down in the market and the demand of synthetic indigo would go higher. Children, now we will be moving towards page number 51. On page number 51, your question is there, that is, the events in this part of the text illustrate Gandhi's method of working. Can you identify some instances of this method and link them to his ideas of satyagraha and non-violence? Children, this will be your question number 6 in your registers. And the answer to this question would be, Gandhi's politics was intermingled with the day-to-day problems of the millions of Indians. He opposed unjust laws. He was ready to court arrest for breaking such laws and going to jail. The famous Dandi March to break the salt law is another instance. The resistance and disobedience was peaceful and a fight for truth and justice. This was linked directly to his ideas of satyagraha and non-violence. Gandhiji always believed in satyagraha and non-violence, and he had set many examples to prove the same. Beta, now we will proceed to page number 53, and you see on this page there are 2 questions given which will be numbered as question number 7 and 8. So let's read question number 7. That would be, why did Gandhiji agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers? Children, answer to this question is given on page number 52, last paragraph. You can read it there also. right? I tell you the right answer. You can write in your notebook also. For Gandhiji, the amount of the refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been forced to return part of the money and with it part of their prestige too. So Gandhiji agreed to the settlement of 25% refund to the poor farmers. And you can see the answer is given on page number 52, last paragraph. Students, now we will be discussing question number 8. How did the episode change the plight of the peasants? Plight means condition. And which episode? This Champaran episode. How did this Champaran episode change the condition of the peasants in Champaran? And the answer to this question would be, the peasants were saved from spending time and money on court cases. After some years, the British planters gave up control of their estates. These now reverted to the peasants. Reverted means returned. I taught you while teaching the chapter also. And indigo sharecropping disappeared. If you see, this is given on the same page number 53 in the very first paragraph of your textbook. Children, now we are proceeding to page number 54, understanding the text. You see, there are 4 questions given under this heading, understanding the text, and these are to be renumbered by you. This will be your question number 9, 10, 11 and 12. So, question number 9 in your notebook will be, why do you think Gandhi considered the Champaran episode to be a turning point in his life? While I explained this page number 54 in my lecture number 3, I made you underline this line on the same page. In the very beginning, this line is given. And the question is, why do you think Gandhiji considered this episode to be a turning point in his life? So the answer to this question can be written, the Champaran episode began as an attempt to ease the sufferings of large number of poor peasants in Champaran. And Gandhiji got spontaneous support of thousands of people there. Gandhi admitted that what he had done was a very ordinary thing. He declared that the British could not order him about in his own country. Hence, he considered this Champaran episode to be a turning point in his life because this Champaran episode filled Gandhiji with a new inspiration to win any battle against Britishers. Now we'll discuss the next question, that is, how was Gandhi able to influence lawyers? Give instances. Children, you would have seen in the chapter I taught you, Gandhi, when was being to be imprisoned, he had a talk with the lawyers and he wanted to ask them what would they do if Gandhi went to jail. So from there you can write the answer to this question, but I am telling you what can be written here also. Gandhi asked the lawyers what they would do if he was sentenced to prison or if he was imprisoned. They said that they had come to advise him only. If he went to jail, they would go back home. Then Gandhi asked them about the injustice to the sharecroppers. The lawyers held their consultations and they came to the conclusion that it would be a shameful desertion if they went home. So they told Gandhi that they were ready to follow him into jail. This was the Gandhi's style to influence lawyers in order to help the sharecroppers if he was not present for their help anymore. Now we will discuss your question number 11 that will be numbered in your register, and the question is, what was the attitude of the average Indians in smaller localities towards advocates of home rule? Gandhiji was also an advocate of home rule. So the question is, what was the attitude of the average Indians, the locals, towards the advocates of home rules? The answer is quite clear, that the average Indians in smaller localities were afraid to show sympathy for the advocates of home rules. Gandhi stayed at Muzaffarpur for 2 days at the home of Professor Malkani, who was a teacher in a government school. And it was an extraordinary thing in those days for a government professor to give shelter to one who opposed the government. So the attitude of the localities was not good. They were afraid of such people. They were afraid of such advocates of home rules, because it was an extraordinary thing to give them shelter at their home, especially those who used to oppose the government and its rules. And children, now we will be discussing the last question of understanding the text. That would be question number 12 in your notebooks. It is, how do you know that ordinary people too contributed to the freedom movement? You must agree with this statement that ordinary people also contributed to the freedom movement, and the writer is asking how. How do you know that? So we can write the answer of this question, that Professor J.B. Kriplani received Gandhiji at Muzaffarpur railway station at midnight. He had a large body of students with him. Sharecroppers from Champaran came on foot and by conveyance to see Gandhi. Muzaffarpur lawyers too called on him. A vast multitude also greeted Gandhi when he reached Motihari railway station. Thousands of people demonstrated around the courtroom. All these instances show that ordinary people too contributed to the freedom movement in India. And it was not only a single man army, but Mahatma Gandhi also needed the support of ordinary people in order to win the battle against the British. Therefore, thousands of people, when demonstrated in front of the courtroom, the judge also released Gandhiji even without bail. So all these show that the ordinary people also contributed to the freedom movement in India. Beta, now we will be proceeding towards page number 55, talking about the text. And here it is written, discuss the following. This question number 1 under this heading, talking about the text, will be written as long answer type question in your registers. Question number 1 is, freedom from fear is more important than legal justice for the poor. Do you think that the poor of India are free from the fear after independence? This is really an alarming question for all the readers, right? Freedom from fear is more important than legal justice for the poor. And this line is the complete sum up of this chapter. Gandhiji also made the poor free from the fear of the British, because he understood once the peasants are free from the fear of the British, then it would not be tough to win the battle of Champaran. Therefore, the writer has asked or raised this question, do you think that the poor of India are free from fear after independence? This is a sensitive issue, and this question will be written as long answer type question in your registers. I am telling you the complete answer. I hope you will be getting it and you will be learning it and writing it in your registers. For this question, the answer can be written, for the poor of India, means of survival are far more important than freedom or legal justice. There is no fact denying that means of survival is far more important than freedom. I don't think the poor of India are free from fear after independence. The foreign rulers have been replaced by corrupt politicians now and self-serving bureaucracies. Power brokers and money lenders have a field day. The situation has improved in cities and towns for the poor, but the poor in the remote villages are still in the grab of the big farmers and money lenders. Therefore, they are getting poorer every day. The police and revenue officials are still objects of terror for them. The poor, landless workers have to still work hard to make both ends meet. Peasants and tenant farmers have to borrow money from rich money lenders on exorbitant rates on interest, which usually they fail to repay due to failure of monsoon or bad crops. And cases of small farmers committing suicide are also quite common. If this is not due to fear, then what is the reason behind it? So, though we have got independence many years back, but still the poor class in our society, in our country, is still poor because they are not yet free from the fear of the bureaucrats and the politicians and in fact the rich. They are still working as servants and they have still surrendered themselves to work under their orders. Therefore, this statement is right that freedom from fear is more important than legal justice for the poor. And in India, the poor are not still free from the fear after even independence. This question you will write as long answer type question. So children, you see, in total I discussed 12 short answer type questions for 3 marks each with you and one long answer type question that will be for 6 marks in your exam also. So now we will proceed towards the homework. Children, your homework of the day is learn and write all these 13 questions in number of chapter 5 Indigo in your Fair English registers and post me your homework on my email ID or on my personal WhatsApp number. I hope you will be doing it soon and I hope you have taken much interest in learning this lesson. Children, this lesson has a great weightage in examination also. Please take it seriously and focus on studying the chapter and try to understand the questions which I have discussed with you. So start doing your work and post me your homework in time on my WhatsApp number or on my email ID. Thank you. Have a nice day.